want them to have the proper name recognition.
Sure.
But the Rock is where we're at.
And by the way, the food is pretty good. Opening tap is controlled to Rutgers. Derek Simpson running the show. Right away, Omori going to be involved, and they go right to him. And there's the follow. Beautifully done by Austin Williams, who's got a lot of hops. Somebody that you felt going into today's game would be a real catalyst for Steve Pikel.
His ability to be able to create his own shot off the dribble, excellent passer and phenomenal athlete, will be important for him to impact this game, particularly on the offensive end.
There's the dump down to Edey. He looks for help from Lance Jones, and there's Smith on the wing, and he drains the tray to make it a 3-2 game.
You have to make sure that your rotations are quicker. Purdue has 5 guys in their rotation that shoot 40% or more from three-point line.
Look for a lot of pick and rolls and pick and pops with Omori. Try to get Edey away from the basket. That one's off the heel, run down by Smith.
Yeah, Edey's sheer size intimidated Omori on that shot.
That ball deflected, but Edey does corral it, and he's fouled inside. A fait accompli that at some point people will always say the best coach does not made a trip to the Final Four.
So that doesn't take away from what he's been able to accomplish at Purdue. It's been remarkable.
Well, the good news, by the way, Fonz, that foul went on Williams on a reach rather than Omori, and that's important to Steve Pikel. It's a 4-2 game now.
Yeah, Morris got to stay out of foul trouble. They don't have the requisite size and experience coming off the bench in his absence at the center position.
Once again, if he gets the ball at the high post, he's able to clear the rim for his teammates.
Gonna make a couple of those.
Yep. Right on cue, Cliff Omori.
And what that will do, partner, is force Zach Edey to come up out of that lane area, which should open up dribble penetration lanes for their guards.
Smith all the way to the rack. Count the basket.
Official.
So Omori with one. Williams with one as well for Rutgers. And that ball is last touched by Simpson on the way out. I think Doug Sermons is going to come in and overrule and give the ball to Rutgers. He does. Telling DJ Karstensen, one of the really quality officials in college basketball, that he had a better angle on it. He, along with Jeffrey Anderson, the 3 officials. As you look at Steve Pikel, I mentioned when first meeting Matt Painter, he worked for Coach Weber at SIU. Now Steve Pikel was with Jim Calhoun at Connecticut as both the player and assistant coach.
He's having to make an adjustment, of course, in this new NIL space, because he's used to having guys 4 to 5 years, and that's just not the case
not
now.
anymore. Hyatt, the transfer from LSU, could not get that one to go. They'll need him today. Nice rebound up high by Kaufman-Wren. Trey Kaufman-Wren coming away with it, and a recycle for Purdue. Shot clock at 4. That's the guy you want to have it. Can't get it to fall. And it's rebounded by Austin Williams. Mag. He might be their best overall player. Mawat Mag out of Australia. The team still trying to get accustomed to playing one another, and on that ball fake, Smith
Bound the basketball to allow them to get out in transition and try to get some easy ones before this tough Purdue Boilermaker defense gets set up.
Smith gets the free throws, and it's now 8-4 Boilermakers.
Yeah, Braden Smith has been terrific over the last 3 games. 10 assists per game over the last 3 and only 3 turnovers. He's got such great vision out there on the floor.
Omori again, boy, that shot from the elbow, this time a little too strong. So he's 1 out of 2 today from that spot on the floor.
Got to find shooters.
Great pass inside. Edey forces it up. That's quality defense by Clifford Omori there.
2 straight possessions on the block. Clifford Omori doing a terrific job.
Gonna need some of those to fall.
Yes.
Noah Fernandez has that one go crying off the front iron. They've really struggled from the floor, Rutgers. particularly from downtown.
Shooting only 30% from the three-point line. They've got to make some against Purdue today.
That jump hook doesn't fall. Edey on the offensive glass. And Amori just has to give that one up, and does.
Yes, too valuable to what they're doing on both ends of the floor to get in foul trouble.
4 straight missed shots for Rutgers. Got to maintain contact early against a team as efficient as Purdue. Mag, a pull-up, and again, short.
Yeah, notice, Tim, everything's a jump shot now. They've got to get Zach Edey away from the basket and get to the painted area off the dribble.
Jones, high rising, but can't get it to fall. Edey, the offensive rebound. The double comes late, and he double dribbled. Or they'll call it a walk. They'll give him a travel rather than a double dribble, who had such a great career here as coach.
Yes.
And we want to send out great wishes to Bob, who lives in the Jacksonville area, loves to play golf, and a former partner of mine during the NCAAs in the early 2000s. Here's Griffiths. They're going to need somebody to make a bucket besides Amore. That follow won't fall, and there's like a lid on the cylinder for the Scarlet Knights early.
Got to find shooters when they get out in transition.
And out of bounds, and a walk on Mason Gillis.
And Mason Gillis gives them a different look at the power forward position because of his ability to be able to stretch the defense, shooting 51% from 3 on the year.
Antoine Woolfolk is also in the game for Rutgers. That little leaner.
They've got to make those, TB.
Got to get some of those to fall. Fernandez can't hit. Get the feeling that the anticipation is so great. They look a little tight early, this Rutgers team on the offensive end. Ethan Morton is on the floor, number 25 for the Boilers out of the timeout. Edey setting up the pick and roll. Here's Lawyer, the sharpshooter, goes inside. Found a little way to navigate himself into the paint and makes it a 12-4 game.
The defense is so concerned about Purdue's ability to be able to knock down threes. When that basketball goes on the deck, they're afraid to leave, and that's what's creating that little angle to be able to get to the front of the rim, combined by Zach Edey essentially setting a little screen in the middle of the lane.
8 unanswered now for the Boilers. Omori giving it up. Nice work inside, as you see Antoine Woolfolk in the game, as we mentioned earlier. And finally, one drops for Davis.
Michael Davis, who they call Mike, reminds them of Jacob Young in terms of his speed and ability. He's got to be able to create some offense for Rutgers on the offensive end. That was a good pull up there.
You made mention of the fact that they needed to get Amori some help, and they did by getting Davis into the game. Morton can't hit. So these are vital minutes for Antoine Woolfolk, the 6'9" star, now playing inside, while Amori gets a breather. Beautiful defense by Morton.
Fernandez, number 2 in red, lost his shoe. He's still on the other end in the backcourt.
Yeah. Smith unable to get it to go. And oh, by the way, he doesn't have time to get it on. There he is up at the top of your screen trying to adjust and get those sneaks on.
His shoes untied and everything.
Back in the day, those Chuck Taylors would stay on.
That's right. Oh, man.
I realize they're not as fashionable, but
sure.
They did stay on.
Yes, they did. It's a big shot there.
Well, can't get it to fall. Yeah.
I'd like to see Purdue get Zach Edey involved in more ball screens to get him out the middle of the lane. And he's in drop coverage. That'll allow the guards to be able to make a 15-foot jump shot.
Now they double team right away when he gets the ball, with Omori out. And a foul spotted on that dribble drive at the baselines. But when Amori left the game and they went with Woolfolk, you saw right away the change.
In the league, it really gets to your legs, and so they're trying to give him some much-needed breather on the side, which is why Woolfolk came into the game.
Boy, oh boy, that was no walk in the park.
No.
A turnover, and there's Jones. Beautiful job in the wing area, and Purdue crashing the offensive glass out of bounds. It goes back to Rutgers. That's an opportunity missed.
Tim, what they're going to do is when they bring the basketball up on the full clock, they want to try to reverse the basketball, Rutgers, and get it to about 10 seconds because they want to try to make that defense move. And around the 10-second mark, if they don't have anything, then they get into what they call head tap, which is a ball screen and roll, as you're seeing right here.
Yeah, and Amori lost it that time as he was trying to post up and make his move inside. Just a terrible start offensively for Rutgers. And Steve Michael was telling his team in that huddle, listen, you got good looks.
Yes.
They've got to fall at some point. Just maintaining contact during this drought is the main thing. Gillis from downtown. Bingo.
Beautiful offense.
Biggest lead, double digits already, and we're not quite 9 minutes deep into the first half. Now, you hate to say must make situations this early, but it really is getting to that point.
I like when they put Hyatt on the block, though. He's got to be aggressive.
Yeah, he's doubled. And there's Amori now. Over Edey, and he's rejected. But a foul. They got Zach with the arm. In a year when Coach Michael lost his two best guards, including Cam Spencer, to the transfer portal, and his big. But they're just trying to build some chemistry with the rest of this team because of those losses, massive losses in their lineup from a year ago.
Absolutely. Cliff Amori actually put his name in the NBA hat, but decided to come back because his mom Gladys wanted him to graduate. And you need to have stability within your program, and he's done just that.
Yeah, I tell you, through the years, Nigerian kids come in grateful for the opportunity and in massive need of the education. Smith.
Good decision making by Brayden Smith coming off that ball screen. Drop coverage, doesn't take it too deep, and stops and pops.
Wow, how about that? A pilfer from Lance Jones. Leaves it. And the trailer, Caleb First, is first to score, and Michael did not like that. And this is a quick shot treatment timeout. With Zach Edey sitting down, it'll be interesting to see how they decide to utilize Amori.
I'd like to see them put him on that left block and let him go to work.
Yeah, working over First this time, and again, can't get it to go. Wow, a human pogo stick with the follow and the foul. Nice job by Jamichael Davis.
His presence out here to try to keep this thing close.
Kaufman Wren got the foul, his first. Well, that three-point play certainly helps the home crowd's feelings. 21-10 as they try to pick their team up.
And folks, this is what you're going to see. Steve Michael mixing his defenses. A little full court man, a little full court pressure, three-quarter court pressure, and you may actually see him go a little bit of zone as well.
Jones again. Pulled down by Palmquist just into the game, the young man from Sweden. Hyatt from downtown. He just can't buy a three. Amori the final. He uses the window.
With Zach Edey out of the game, that's the second offensive rebound that Rutgers has gotten.
One thing that will not stop, regardless of the score, is the crowd inside Jersey Mike's. They certainly bring the vintage name, the Wreck, right back into your heart. Blow, because it's important to him having to play so many minutes. Generally speaking, if he can buy him a couple of minutes early in a game, it'll help him, particularly if you're in for a close one. And in the Big Ten, you're going to have a lot of those on the road.
Yes, and a lot of that also is predicated on the fact that Rutgers has been able to attack the offensive glass as of late.
Simpson. Derek Simpson gets one to fall, averaging just under 10 a game.
Yeah, 13 points a game over his last three, Tim.
So now 7 straight for the home team. Lawyer dumping it down. Kaufman Wren is doubled, and another turnover. Amori takes it away. Palmquist.
Another offensive rebound for Rutgers.
Davis on the switch, right by Edey, and he's blocked.
He's an extraordinary player.
He sure was. Still is. Hyatt gets that one to go. That 3-on-3 thing, he really owned it, didn't he?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, he did. 21-16, 9 unanswered here at Jersey Mike's. And those folks from Jersey know how to let you know when their team's doing well. Edey working pick and roll now, and there's a reach.
It's a glass that have kept them in this game. 8 of their 16 points have come off the offensive glass as Gillis knocks down that 3.
Boy, Mason Gillis, Newcastle, Indiana star, now in a senior year. These seniors from Purdue have never won in this building. Hard to believe with their record being what it is overall. Jones pulls down that errant 3 ball.
I thought that was a settle. I thought Andre Hyatt should have driven that basketball to his left.
Gillis running the curl. Woo. Beautiful feed, and he's fantastic when running that curl near the elbow.
So many options at the power forward spot. We saw Trey Kaufman-Wren, who started this game, and he's more of a post player. But when you bring Gillis in, now all of a sudden a guy who's a floor spacer, and he's so good pulling up from 3 or the pull-up off the dribble.
That dribble handoff was a good one, but again, Simpson unable to get that one to go. The offense from the perimeter has been spotty at best for Rutgers. At a 9-0 run, but Purdue has answered with 4 straight. And here's Edey working inside, solo, right over Amore.
Yeah, Amore saying that he actually used his off arm to create a little space, and I think he's right.
As our friend Clark Kellogg would say, got away with a chicken wing, right?
You're making me hungry now.
Beautiful move. He's got such quick feet to be at that size. That's Cliff Amore's biggest key.
And that goes back to when he made that 15-foot jump shot earlier. Edey had to come up a little closer. Now he's got the speed advantage to be able to attack the basket, and that's exactly what he did there.
Edey corrals a low pass, now is doubled. Wills that one up there. Amore clears.
I've not seen anyone on the season guard Zach Edey as well as Cliff Amore is guarding him this afternoon.
And by the way, Steve Peichel told us before the game, there's a lob that does not work out and a turnover. Jones comes out of there with it. How this game is officiated means a lot to the home team. Edey. Oh, yes, and a foul. He stayed with it. His strength was the key there. Of the massive size differential, and I think big guys are always paying a price because of that. It's just hard for the officials to blow the whistle each time.
That's very fair.
And
especially over the last 2 years where he's been the most dominant player in all of college basketball.
Could be the first back-to-back player of the year since Ralph Sampson in the college game. Think about that. Wow. There's another steal. Jones just gets his hands in there every time.
Yes.
Edey, by the way, sits with 1,999 career points. His next bucket will get him beyond the 2,000 mark.
And he's just been extraordinary. 3 straight games of averaging 31 points a game and 17 rebounds over a 3-game stretch. And what can't we say about him? I don't think there's anyone who dominates the game the way that he does. And if he continues to go, he will definitely be the back-to-back National Player of the Year.
There's an example of how it's gone for Rutgers today. A great straight line drive for nothing. Simpson could not get it to fall. Missed the bunny. Another steal.
Need it.
Hyatt. Gillis had it. Lost it. The game itself has moved away from back to the basket low post players, and yet he and his coach, are doing it old school and still keeping it popular at a time when face-up post players are the norm, not post-up.
And the way you do it when you have someone dominant on the interior is put great shooters around them, and they certainly have that this year. 5 guys shooting 40% or better from the three-point line for the Boilermakers.
Now they got Williams back into the game, and remember Austin playing with 2 fouls.
And that's what you want to try to do, to your point, is try to get it to 9, because again, psychologically it changes and gives you a bit of hope as you come out for the second half.
Edey with 8 points and 4 boards, back on the floor, looking to eclipse the 2,000-point mark in his career with a bucket. There he is. Shot clock winding down. Edey trying to keep it alive. More. That's Woolfolk that brings it down. Much needed breath for Amore as Woolfolk checks back in. Williams trying to post up Gillis. He'll have none of it.
Got to get Zach Edey involved in the ball screen.
And they got to get Simpson to make a basket for them on these drives. At some point, one needs to fall, and it finally does.
And Tim came from the ball screen, because the guards are doing a really nice job of snaking it, and with Zach Edey backing up, it'll give them some space to be able to get that little 15-foot jump shot off.
I mean, the building is just waiting to explode.
Yes.
And that's an offensive foul. And that's really good news for Simpson to see one go through like that on a tough shot.
Nice.
Woolfolk too strong.
It's almost as if he wasn't expecting to get that one.
Jones has just been outstanding playing his role, hasn't he? Number 55 in the black and gold.
He certainly has.
Smith for Edey. And they're going to get a foul to go with it. Count it.
Over 2,000 points for the Big Maple.
That time that he was at IMG and he was under Baycott, you know, having to defend him, he had to wait his turn, and the Blue Bloods really didn't look at him. Mag, Woolfolk on the offensive glass. They collapse on him, and Simpson now has it with a recycle. Wide open Mag. Well, they really need him and Hyatt to begin to warm up. They're both empty today offensively. And the lead 13 now as we approach the intermission. That's a walk. He just lost his footing down there that time. He was headed to the deck. He's a runaway freight train in a lot of ways.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah. Simpson. That pass was a little high, but retrieved by Amore. Mag just wants to see one go down. That one hits the side of the backboard. It's just been a very frustrating first half for Mawat Mag.
That's really good defensive awareness by Trey Kaufman-Wren, number 4 in black.
Credited really for bringing in all those greats, 3 big-time players.
What hasn't Dickie V
Oh,
accomplished?
man, and we wish him all the best as he tries to get his vocal cords back.
Zone look here. Into the middle of the floor.
Jones up against the clock. And we've come to the intermission. If they're going to hang with number 2 with a bullet, Purdue.
Guys like Noah Fernandez, number 2 in red, and Derek Simpson, Jermichael Davis, those guys are going to have to make some perimeter shots as Rutgers continues to mix their defense, a little 1-3-1 zone there.
Oh, the iron unkind to Jones from downtown.
I've been waiting on you to say that one.
You would have lost on the over-under, by the way. I had you wait till the second half. Kids on campuses back in the day used to have bets on over-unders on when that would come out.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Simpson with a pull-up, and it's just an awful shot after dribbling himself into a good position.
Tim, you see how wide open those looks are, and you have to think that the law of averages, particularly with them playing at home on their home floor, they've got to be able to make some shots here in the second half.
And Lawyer lost his dribble, did manage to save it. And again, he lost his footing that time, and incidental contact and a good no call by Doug Sermons. Again, perspiration is a factor on that floor today.
Yeah, Andre Hyatt doing a really nice job. Oh, no, that's Mag.
Yep.
Doing a really nice job of not allowing him to get the advantage with his shoulder to turn the corner. That was really good defense by number 3 in red.
9 turnovers by the Boilers, but they haven't had those live ball turnovers that Rutgers has had. Scarlet Knights have had some putback points, second chance opportunities. Mag again rejected by Edey. Simpson with a fadeaway. Well, those 2 shots that he's made have both been of the fadeaway variety.
Yeah. Now 12 of their 22 points have come off offensive rebound putbacks. They've been extraordinary on the glass.
33-22. Worst scoring first half of the year for Rutgers, yet they're down just 11. Smith from up top. Count it.
And that's the danger of double teaming Zach Edey and not taking away angles for him to pass that thing out, because as we said earlier, Purdue's got 5 guys that shoot 40% or better from the 3-point line. Braden Smith just lined that one up.
Simpson gets the pick from Amore. And again, they're not taking shots they normally would. That one on a runner does fall, and Hyatt needs more of that. Kid from the Bronx, New York, that made it here through the portal at LSU.
Hyatt's been the most consistent scorer on the season, and he's got to be able to make shots both off the dribble and when he has catch and shoots.
Well, sometimes when you will one in, it helps you later on. Edey backs in, slams it home. He got position and used his leverage big time against Cliff Amore there.
And that's the first time Cliff Amore has given them an angle to the basket. You've got to make Zach Edey have to score over the top. Well done by Zach Edey.
And there you go. Andre Hyatt sees one go in, goes right back out to the 3-point line and drains it.
35% from 3 on the year. That'll get this crowd into it.
3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Now they're going to get a Hyatt with an arm.
And use his strength to be able to dunk that one over the top. Well done by Zach Edey.
Austin Williams has got to be careful playing with 3 at the end of the first half. Great work defensively by Amore. Simpson was trying to find Williams but couldn't. Pulls up in the paint. And that one goes crying again off the front iron.
Got to get the shooters.
Bingo! Bango! Bongo! Braden Smith, Westfield, Indiana. 15 points for him. Williams on the baseline, gets it to go.
And they need more of that from Williams. He's so good off the dribble, can finish with either hand around the rim. He's got the requisite speed to be able to get by Fletcher Lawyer. That's well done by 24 in red.
Edey with the little jump hook. Too easy.
Yeah, Cliff Amore has allowed him to get comfortable now. Early in the first half, he was really walling up on that shot and forcing Zach Edey to take more of a fall away that was falling short. Now Edey's in a really good rhythm. Cliff Amore's got to give him more resistance.
Simpson, high arching off the window, can't get it to go. Edey saves it. Here comes Braden Smith the other way.
Danger time here for Rutgers.
Yep. Quick answer after that first 3 for Rutgers. They cut it to 11. They're 1 of 9 from downtown. And again, no help for Amore. He walked.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Yeah, that's where you got to go. He may have gotten away with steps, but that's where the ball has got to go to end a run.
Especially when he, wow.
Jones again.
Jones again.
Man, he has been something. Gillis. Edey again with the offensive rebound and a recycle. Trying to take some of the air out of this Jersey Mike's arena.
I'd like to see him get it right back to Edey. Smith will take this one if he can get room.
Yeah. Nice idea, but couldn't get it to fall. It belongs to Rutgers.
Rutgers starting to knock down 15-footers and some threes as well, and that's gotten them back in this game within 7.
Griffith's dad, Larry, played at the University of Hartford, or as they'd say in Connecticut, the University of Hartford.
I like it.
And Michael knew all about him, had to guard him when he was in school.
I thought Davis should have shot that ball.
Hyatt from downtown. Ball's taken off the rim, and a slam flushed. Amore again. It's down to 5. 5 Why not? Why not? He'll get to the free throw line. Edey trying to end that 11-2 run with a freebie.
That's another thing, Tim, that makes him so special is in late game situations, you don't have to play the offense-defense game with him because he's such a good free throw shooter that you don't have to compromise your defensive nor your offensive rebounding. Shoots 75% from the line.
Gets 1 out of 2. It's a 6-point game.
Purdue fans will be mad at me on that one. Little announcer jinx.
Yep.
My bad.
Well, you've been at it long enough to at least know when you misstep. And they're away from the ball is another foul. Yeah, the last one. Almost as good as that one, but not quite. Parliament Funkadelic had a great song called Tear the Roof Off the
Yes,
Sucker.
sir.
Remember that?
Yes.
If that basket had gone, the roof would have been torn off the sucker.
Absolutely. Watch the ducky in here from Edey.
Omori fronting him now. Here's Lawyer from downtown. Beautiful tap out by Omori.
Get it to the left side here. There's a shot waiting for Rutgers. Waited a little too late.
High and a quick burst. Hello! Big time! High! Roberta Flack killing it softly.
Woo! I see what you're doing there, partner.
As Al McGuire once said, the little French pastry high off the window.
I like it.
You're going up against a big like Edey. You need to have that in your arsenal.
Indeed. More full court pressure.
Closest since it was 7-4. Beautiful pass inside. And I think Williams may be tagged with his 4th on that reach.
Mismatch with Hyatt that he takes advantage of.
His scoring average has gone up with each passing year.
And partner, this has been a chess match between Matt Painter and Steve Pikiell. Remember early on, they were trying to straight post Zach Edey. Now all of a sudden they're getting him on the move where he's able to catch the basketball in the middle of the floor where there's not much help, and he's created some nice one-on-one opportunities inside.
He's made their last 7 points for Purdue.
Really good coaching by Matt Painter.
Griffiths working on Lawyer. Bounce pass entry. Omori rejected by Edey. That was an easy one for him to take down.
Indeed, he should have passed that basketball. He was up underneath the backboard. Very difficult angle to score. Keep getting Edey the basketball inside the middle of the floor.
Pick and roll time, but they miss it. Shot clock under 10. Edey again on the glass. He's so good passing out of the post. Jones unable to hit. And it's pulled down by Andre Hyatt.
Another steal by
Another
Jones.
steal by Jones.
How good are his defensive instincts?
He's the prince of the pilfer.
Indeed. Two-time Missouri Valley Conference all-defensive team. He's given them a tremendous burst on the defensive end.
5 steals in all for him today.
Wow.
And he's cashed them into points too. Smith Mag is back in the game, and I mean, if there's a player they need something from, it's him in the second half. Great job of keeping his balance going inside. Well done by Davis.
Yeah, whenever you have a guy crowding you that way, you should put it on the deck and get to the rim, and that's exactly what Michael Davis did there. Edey's got to touch the ball here with Omori on the bench.
Wolfett trying to front him. Not easily done. Smith for 3. Tapped out again by Edey to Jones. That one won't fall for the perimeter, and it's taken down again by Rutgers. Here goes Griffiths the other way. There's the 3 they've been looking for. Noah Fernandez, the UMass transfer. It's down to 2. They're going to get the foul
Zach Edey has been terrific in this game, and his ability to knock down free throws. You're talking about a guy that's 7'4", 305 pounds, and a feathery touch from the foul line.
Keep an eye on Griffiths.
Number 10 in red.
There it is. There's the pin down. Off the front iron, got a wide open look. Got that high pick that he wanted. He's upset with himself too.
He should be.
Trying to shake it off. I think he prefers the wing, frankly, than he does up top. That one won't fall. Griffiths keeps it alive though. Out of bounds, it belongs to Purdue.
But he stepped up and made some big shots for him here in the second half.
Like a field goal kicker going out, being asked to kick the longest one of his career.
Indeed. Whew. I thought Zach Edey was open one-on-one. You couldn't even see his defender. He had him posted up so deeply.
Mag is trying to defend Smith here off the ball. Number 3 on 3.
They're using a little high-low action when they do that.
And another foul inside. All you can do really with Edey, try not to foul him as he's shooting. Keep from it as best you can. It's just too much for him. He can only play in spots. Omori has the quick feet that can enable him to really do a better job of fronting and
to try to accomplish that goal. Look at that touch, though. My goodness.
But you'd rather have him get freebies at the line than dunk on you each time he gets it. 12 of Purdue's last 14 points belong to Zach. 55-48. They had cut it to 2 just 2 minutes ago. Rutgers so much more effective when the floor is spread in the 94 feet. Omori missed the chippy. I think they did get a foul. Yep. Yeah, we would be to give the building its due. We would be mid-rack at the rack at Jersey Mike's. That's where we're looking. Right in the middle of the rack.
I see what you did there.
Well, Omori gets one of them to go. 55-49. 6.5 to play.
2-2-1 full court pressure here. I think Purdue, once they break it, they've got to go to score.
They may have, over and back. Yep. They forced that, and again, it surprised them. That change, that defensive change. The Scarlet Knights so much more effective in transition. When the ball is in the half court, it's advantage Purdue. Nice. Simpson. 55-51, and here they come again on their feet.
That empty side ball screen, Tim Brando, has been really good offensively for Rutgers.
Knocked away. It belongs to the Scarlet Knights.
And he shot that thing off the wrong leg.
A peer of yours back in the day. Griffiths on a flash. That ball, I think his arm got hit. No whistle. Out of bounds to Rutgers. And he's having to sit down now. No short arm on that one.
Rutgers has done a really nice job of those inside screens to get Gavin Griffiths open, and he's able to knock that one down from the left side.
He atoned, and he has changed the tone inside Jersey Mike's.
With Cliff Omori out of the game, Zach Edey's got to touch the basketball.
Smith using the glass.
How poised is he when he gets in the gap?
They're tending to Omori now at the end of the bench. You do need to get him back in as quickly as possible. Mag has really struggled offensively today, giving it up. Here's Griffiths again. Short-armed it one more time on the teardrop. Stayed with it though. Edey rejected him.
And he'll learn when he's got a crowd around him. That means he's got someone open. He's got to make the extra pass. Poor decision there.
Yeah, they got to get Amori back in quickly, and they do. He's going to the scores table. That's an offensive foul. Nice work by Derek Simpson. Williams is back too, and he's playing with 4 fouls.
And with Gavin Griffiths off the floor now, Andre Hyatt, number 5 in red's got to get going.
Yeah,
wow,
and
turnover.
Again, that's just a lack of concentration.
Yeah.
When you're trying to shore up your offensive game, sometimes that can hurt you. A little stop and go by Jones. Well, that was a thing of beauty, everything but the finish. And it will go back the other way to Rutgers.
It gives them more balance out there on the perimeter.
Yeah, it gives them more of an explosive look to their backcourt. And has great vision to pass the ball. Williams, a wraparound to Amore. Over Edey, and he's rejected again, but fouled. Comes with the territory when you're that big.
Yes, it does.
And if you don't believe me, talk to Shaq. Talk to David Robinson. Talk
exactly
to my
right.
partner, LaFonso Ellis.
Karl Malone. All those big bruises.
And again, I go back to Zach's patience in dealing with it. He's got such a great countenance and presence about him.
He does.
To deal with all of that. Here we go, a 3-point game.
Purdue's got to get it over and go to attack. They're dropping back now in the man. The middle ball screen and getting Zach Edey the basketball in the middle of the floor has been really good for Purdue.
Lawyer from the seat of his pants, and the closeout will bring a 5th foul and elimination to Austin Williams. Issues with it, and Steve was telling us, Steve Peichel, before the game that he just has to go sort of day by day with him.
Yeah, he's such a tough kid. I love watching him play.
He'll check out. And that brings the crowd back to their seats. And as they do get to their seats, something to consider here is what Griffiths might be able to do to get them out of their seats again.
Yeah, they're doing a little offensive defense move here. Ethan Morton is a phenomenal one-on-one defender, and so he's been assigned to try to keep Griffiths under control.
He got him with a bump. Good call, partner. I mean, he was right up in his kitchen. You have to win a game like this on the road, and in the past, they've not been able to do it.
Is up. It just kind of keeps you thinking and a little bit on edge, and so it keeps you from playing freely. And I think that's exactly what we've seen here from Purdue here in the second half.
Griffiths goes 1 of 2, and it's a 5-point game with 3 to play.
It's money time. 15 and Black's got to touch the ball.
Blow by Smith.
So good.
62 to 55. Jamichael Davis running the show now with Amori back on the deck. Noah Fernandez looks for Griffiths on the curl, and there is, on the switch, Lawyer trying to check him. That's his spot. He loves that spot, but can't get it to go. Big miss for Rutgers right there.
Yeah, they needed that one. This is where they hang their hats, so they've got to get a stop here, but I'd like to see Zach Edey get a touch on this possession.
He got it with authority. And the Boilermaker crowd, and there are a few of them here, letting the faithful know it's going to be different this year. Win a game at the Final Four.
There's a psychology behind it, yet I think this Purdue team is built this year with the addition of Lance Jones to be able to get there and possibly win it.
A 3-ball from Andre Hyatt, and it comes at an opportune time. 64-58.
High ball screen, and if it's not there, get that ball to Zach Edey inside. Here it comes.
Shot clock under 10. They go pick and roll. Lost the ball on the dribble, but it's returned to sender. Jones again. Every loose ball belongs to him.
From 3 last year, well, he's proved them wrong because he shot 47% from 3 over the last 4.
That they didn't have with those teams that were really, really good, but frankly just did not defend in their perimeter the way this team does.
Indeed.
66-58. Got to score here if you're Rutgers.
See Andre Hyatt get a touch here.
For three. Off the front iron, loose ball collected by Edey.
Yeah, that's a settle. I thought he could have been able to get into the lane to try to draw two to create offense for himself or his teammates. 105, you got a foul here. Go for a steal and foul if you don't get it.
Well, they're too deep into the clock, one would think now. Now Edey now over Amore, and that will stop the clock. And there was really nothing else Amore could do. That was on hand for one of them back in 1996 when he got knocked out by Matt Painter. It's been a similar story for him. Well, there's life left in Rutgers after those two misses.
Gotta go here.
Need one and need one quickly. Hyatt. Whew. That would have counted had it gone and could have been a 4-point play. Morton picks it up.
As the ball is inbounded, try to tie it up, and if you can't tie it up, you got to foul.
Along with Ed Svita. Ed Svita in for our friend Ethan Cooperson, who's busy today getting ready for the AFC title game to a 2-possession game. They're going to get Simpson back on the floor.
Speed team is in now. They'll try to trap the first pass and try to tie it up, and if they can't get it, they have to foul.
There's your trap. There's your trap.
Foul.
Gillis. Yeah, they're letting way too much time go off that clock. Way too much time. They finally get the foul, just not as aggressive, LaFonso. And
I don't think a lot of people talk enough about Boo Buie. Boo Buie is one of the best point guards in the country. Can flat out score.
Lawyer knocks him down, and here's the defense for offense with Morton coming back in the game. Again, it's got to be quick.
Got to be quick.
Hyatt for three. It's so tough when everyone knows you need a three.
Yes, I was surprised that Amore didn't go up and set a high ball screen to try to free his teammate up.
Well, it was great to be back in the building they call the Rec, because I've never been here. And while Rutgers doesn't get it done, I am so impressed with Purdue. If you're wondering, can they make the March run? I believe this year, you're right, they can.
There's no question about it. And this is a team in Zach Edey, who we know will likely be the repeat National Player of the Year, being surrounded by some terrific shooters and complemented by Lance Jones, who's an excellent defensive player. And we saw his thievery here right before our eyes today.